Greetings, redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, the one, the only J Red. Checking in. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Before I begin this video, please make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe to the official YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/RedsView. You're seeing it go across your screen as we speak. And join me each and every week as we talk about some of the hottest topics, the hottest drama, the hottest issues in the hip hop culture. And we have fun, man. We have fun. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you join the Reds View community. Hit that subscribe button. Also, like this video, or you can dislike it. It's all good as long as we get some traction in this thing. You already know what's happening, right? All right. So let's talk about some of the hottest news that's trending right now. All right. So first, we're going to talk about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry released a new movie called Straw. And of course, it does what it normally does, gets the people talking, just like I'm doing right now. So I got a chance to see the movie the day after it came out that morning. And I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't enjoy the movie. I thought the movie was awful. I didn't like the only good thing was Taraji's acting, but I'm not a fan of the movie. I'm not a fan of the movie. I'm not a fan. I like what Tyler was doing with the script, but I like well, let me say this. I like the story. I like the story, the concept, the idea. It just was executed poorly, in my opinion. All right. Uh, I think that he could have done better. And, it brings up the conversation again of Tyler Perry using more writers than himself, Tyler Perry using more directors than himself, and all that good stuff. Tyler Perry using more producers than himself. But altogether, just a quick movie review. It's about a single mother who doesn't have help, who loses her child. Not well, she loses her child at first. At first, and for those who watched the movie, this spoiler alert. At the end, we found out that her child died, but originally, um, as the movie was going on, she lost her child to child services. She lost her child to child services. She loses her job, right? She had a asshole of a boss that wouldn't give her any leeway, wiggle room, or anything like that. The evil black man as usual. So she loses her child to child services, loses her job. Then the guy won't give her her check in order to cash. It was a lot of things wrong with this movie. I'm like, okay, they still have checks in 2025. They still were punching in on the punch in clock. I hadn't did that since I was like 15, right? Uh, I didn't know they still had that because it made me try to figure out the setting of the movie. I was like, where is this? But then I heard I heard Glorilla playing, so I'm like, okay, so it's modern day. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on, with that. The store was kind of old fashioned. So anyway, then she mistakenly robs a bank. Like she tries to go get her. Oh, she gets evicted. Let me say that too. She gets evicted, and then she mistakenly robs a bank. All right. They had Tiana Taylor playing in there, the other gentleman that was playing in there. But altogether, I thought the casting was bad outside of Taraji. Story just wasn't believable. And at the very end, we found out that her daughter didn't die. I mean, her daughter did die, and all of that was an illusion as she accidentally robbed the bank. All right. So basically, he made this for the single mothers that go through life every day who don't have any help. But to me, it was very unrealistic. And what a lot of people say is Tyler was trauma dumping. A lot of people are frustrated with Tyler Perry movies. I've had several individuals that say that they refuse to watch it. They feel like Tyler Perry depicts black women in a negative light, the gay black community in a negative light, and or exploits them rather, and he puts black men in a negative light. So, is Tyler Perry trauma dumping in this new movie Straw? Now, I'm just gonna go through and just look at what people were saying about this. Shout out to Brother Truth, one of my homies from Jackson State. Let's read what he said. So it's been a while since I saw a Tyler Perry film, but it quickly reminded me of why I don't watch TV much anymore. I'll just say, don't let this entertainment lead folks to think they can crash out over a bad day and a $500 check while believing you're going to get some standing ovation as a hero. Please come out of La La Land and separate reality fiction, because these law enforcers will take your head off your shoulders for allegedly shooting two folks and holding up a bank, which she did. If this movie was about a brother, it wouldn't have lasted the first 30 minutes. In the end, I've seen some sisters struggle, but I've never seen any lose it like Taraji did in this movie. A bit overboard for me. It's okay to process your emotions, but in real life, never, never, never think you can crash out like that without consequences that won't land you locked up or dead away from your family ever. Acting out of uncontrolled emotion should be a message we stop promoting to our vulnerable community. All right. And you can see my comment down there. I did say that it was awful. So I felt him on that. I felt Brother Truth on that. Shout out to Brother Truth. And let me show you what else someone said. Let me go to this page. Y'all give me a second. Um, this was on Angie. Shout out to Angela Staten. This is on her page. Y'all give me a second. And this is fair use, by the way. This is from this TikToker. And it was a very interesting watch. So I want you to hear what this TikToker had to say. All right, listen to this. Fair use, by the way. Fair use, ladies and gentlemen.
Perry movies like Straw, if you are a woman who wants to experience abundance and ease and breakthrough and flow in your life, I'm going to give you the brain science of why Straw is literally the most dangerous type of storytelling for women who look like Taraji's character, right? Here's the bottom line. When you're watching movies like Straw, your brain does not know it's fiction, babe. Your brain literally will emotionally attach to the trauma that is on the screen, and then your nervous system relives it. How do I know that? Why do you think there are so many trending videos of people saying, oh my God, I was so triggered by Straw. Oh my God, I cried my lashes off. It was so emotional. Because your brain is literally getting emotionally attached and invested in it. And remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between real or imaginary. Babes, that means that when you're watching these traumatic, trauma dumping type movies like this, even if you say, I can relate to it, I know what it's like to be a struggling single mom, I feel so seen. Remember, to your brain, it is taking this as a lived experience that you want to repeat. The brain science is very clear, right? Neurons that fire together wire together. If you keep on watching movies about struggle and heartache and betrayal and breakdown, that is what you're going to get more of, because your reticular activating system is being programmed to believe that you want more of that. Babes, I'm going to close with this. When you are consuming quote entertainment or movies that reinforce negative things, you are making that your assumption, and your brain, your mind, your body is taking it as truth. Babe, Straw is not healing. It's literally recycling the same old story for women who look like Taraji about struggle and being strong and sacrificing and having a breakdown to be seen. It's the same old story. And in 2025, like, I am inviting you and encouraging you to assume something better in order to experience something better.
All right. So one thing that someone says right here says not just Tyler, Hollywood as a whole have been doing that. Somebody says same with porn. The brain doesn't know it's a video and reacts if it's real. All right. So with all that being said, let me say this. I'm not a fan of the movie. Tyler Perry makes a lot of money off of what people call trauma dumping and all this other stuff, right? But I'm not gonna shed the limelight on Tyler Perry. All right. And I'm not gonna go in on Tyler Perry because there are other things in our, and I'm not trying to call other people out, but we love Power. You know what I'm saying? We love the show Power. We love BMF. We love these continuous movies and films that and TV shows that 50 Cent and other people in Hollywood do. We love these reality shows. We love listening to Sexy Red and all this other stuff, right? So to me, Tyler Perry does more good than what people feel like bad. All right. Tyler Perry does more good for black people than bad for black people. If you don't like his movies, you don't have to watch them. It's freedom of expression. People have criticized him in the past and not a fan of all his movies from how cheap they are. Let me tell y'all this, man. Tyler Perry knows what he's doing. Tyler Perry is a genius. He's a genius marketer and a genius filmmaker. Now, when I say genius filmmaker, the first thing people will say is like, what are you talking about? His scripts are horrible. His movies are horrible. Whatever the case may be. Cricket wigs and all, bad makeup and all, bad acting and all. But what does it do? What does it do? It gets the people talking. See, Tyler Perry and Master P kind of remind me of each other, and it's funny that they're both from New Orleans. Tyler Perry has a formula, okay? Tyler Perry knows that when he puts these movies out, people are gonna want to watch them. No matter how bad they are, no matter how much people talk about them, the reason people talk about them is because he puts stuff in there to make you talk about them, right? Um, he does this and he does it as a hustle, and I'm not mad at him. I'm not the reason I'm not mad at Tyler Perry is because he employs a lot of black people. I've actually worked with Tyler Perry before. I've seen him shoot in different things like that. And I see how he puts on for people of color, but particularly black people. He pays these actresses and actors more than the average Hollywood studio. He even said on the BET Awards recently that he has made more black millionaires than Hollywood has ever had, right? Than LA has ever had. So I'm not really mad at Tyler Perry for getting his money. He plays into the black stereotypes. He plays into the trauma dumping. He plays into all of that. Not saying that it's right. And I'm not gonna just go in on his movies. People know what you're going to get with a Tyler Perry movie. But what does he do? He continues to make these movies because whether you talk about how bad the acting is or bad the story was or whatever, something about his movies make you continue to tune into him. Now, for those who don't tune into him, I get it. For those who say this is my last time listening, watching a Tyler Perry movie, I'm so over it, I get it. But the man knows how to hustle, and he's the only one in Hollywood that's really just putting a bunch of people on. And I'm not talking about actors. I'm talking about the production assistants, the makeup artists. When you go to Tyler Perry Studios, it's nothing but people, black people in particular, who are working on these sets. He keeps people paid, generates millions of dollars for people in the black community. Now, it's at the expense of the trauma dumping and quote unquote bad movies, but Tyler Perry stopped caring about the quality of his movies a while ago. When he really first started, to be honest, he stopped caring about the Golden Globes and the Oscars and all this other stuff, the Academy Awards. He don't care about that. Tyler Perry knows who his community is. He knew who to reach. He knew to reach out to the black women, the single mothers. That was his target audience, and he did a great job doing it. Now, to me, the movie wasn't good, but I saw a lot of people who was really just blowing this up. They were just like, "Oh my God, I was crying. I was crying. I just couldn't get through it. I was crying in the first 5 minutes." And I'm like, "What?" But I had to realize, out of the critique in J Red, out of the critic in me, I had to get out of that and realize, okay, this is what Tyler does. This is on brand for him. This is a man that came out, he lived in his car for a while. This is a man that came out the mud from doing stage plays, doing Mud Deer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been doing this. He don't care about all that. All he cares about is making the money and putting other people on. And with that being said, I can't be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? So is this trauma dumping? Yeah. Did he do a poor job with this film? I feel like yes, but it reached who it needed to reach, the single mothers. Um, Tyler Perry has the church going people, the Jesus loving people. That was his ground base right there. And he puts other actresses and actors on who probably wouldn't get any shine in Hollywood. He takes care of them. So, with that being said, he does so much good, and this is from my experience working with him. Um, Tyler Perry does a lot of good to outweigh the bad that people say his movies are. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of other things that distract us out here besides a Tyler Perry film. I'm not, and people are going to support it at the end of the day. He has an exclusive deal, I think, with MGM Prime, Netflix. You see, it's the number one Netflix movie. He has a fan base, and he has a whole regimen of how he's going to make his movies, and they do exactly what I'm doing right now. We all talk about them, right? Are you going to go back and watch them? Probably not, but it's like microwave material. It's like he's going to put them out, you're going to talk about it, he made his money already, he's on to the next film. It's a hustle. And I'm just saying, I can't be mad at it, right? And if you learn to not go in watching it for the quality and just realize that it's the quantity, you might not be that upset, you know. But I don't see how anybody could have really enjoyed this movie, but he reached who he needed to reach. So, all with that being said, what did you think of the movie? Did you think that he's trauma dumping and all that stuff or whatever? You could let me know in the comment section what you think about it. But he has a rhythm of how he does this, right? He has it laid out of what he does, and he gets the people talking at the end of the day. But like I said, he employs black people, he puts on for black people, and that's why I'm not mad at him. Now, would I want him to make better movies? Of course. Would I want him to work with other producers and other writers? For sure. Yeah. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got to look at it from his lens. He didn't made $1 billion empire off of movies that he created. He creates this, and he has support. He creates these movies. You mean to tell me if I'd have made $1 billion, you think I'm for the betterment of the viewers that I'm just going to change up what I'm doing while the viewers are still watching my stuff? I don't think so. If you're twerking the Sexy Red and you still purchase these drill music albums and all this other stuff, you're just as guilty as I'm about to say R. Kelly. You're just as guilty as Tyler Perry is. But let me know in the comment section what you think about that. All right. So let's move on.